We ready? Okay, good. Good morning, everybody. It's right at 10 o'clock, so we're going to begin our weekly press event here at Mud Bridge. We're here every Wednesday or at City Hall every Wednesday at 10 o'clock to provide up-to-date updates to the community on the reconstruction of Mud Bridge. We know that several weeks ago there was a sinkhole that caused a closure of the bridge, and upon further investigation we realized the sinkhole was caused by a washout of the embankments below, and upon further investigation we realized that that about half of the columns have severe deterioration, and so those are being worked on as well. So significant progress has been made. We can hear in our forefront and behind the media's backs here, we can hear the trucks working, the crews are working, our contract crews. They have been working every day that they can work. We know that the tidal influences and other weather events can prohibit work from being conducted, but they are working, and they worked through some of the holiday days as well to make sure we get the bridge open as soon as possible. What we've told the community now for over a week is that the goal is to get the bridge reopened. We answered the question as to whether or not it would be the wisest decision for the taxpayer, and the answer is yes, it is. We're going to get it open with a cost of about $3 million, under $3 million. But we do have plans with TxDOT to replace the entire bridge starting in 2025. That's when design and engineering and other services will begin. So the good news is the bridge will be reopened soon, and a brand new bridge is on the way beginning in 2025. So today we're here to give you an update. Ernesto De La Garza, our Public Works Director, will inform the community, and we appreciate the media being here to help us get this message out. We, the city, are also broadcasting this live in our social media outlets, and we're recording it so it can be seen later by the public if they can't view it today or right now. So Ernesto will give us an update on the work. A lot of work has been done on the embankments. I think they're near complete. The column work is underway as well. Barges are en route if they're not here already. That work will have to be performed on a barge from the water, and so mobilizing barges is part of that step 2. I did want to comment also on 2 other projects that are underway in the city. One is an infrastructure project, the intersection of Everhart and Alameda. Everhart and Alameda, so there we had a traffic signal that failed due to high winds and aged infrastructure. That intersection right now is on a 4-way stop, meaning the lights, the electric lights, are not working. We know that this is a priority for the traveling public as well, and we have been working since Sunday, since the incident happened, to get that intersection electrified or back to being signalized rather than a 4-way stop. That work includes, we removed a second mast arm that upon our inspection showed aging and some stress fractures as well. So that took place yesterday. So one arm fell on its own through the wind and deterioration. The second one we removed yesterday just to be proactive. That's what the crews did yesterday. Also yesterday and Monday we began to mobilize 2 options to get the intersection signalized. That includes putting a span wire in the interim until we get metal mast arms reordered and reinstalled. And that span wire will be hung either with the existing metal mast arms, and the alternate plan we're working on as well is potentially putting in 2 wooden poles, or several wooden poles, I guess, because there's 2 intersections, 2 streets involved. So concurrent work is being done to get the signals back up. There was reports of a 30-day time frame, but that's over-exaggerated. It's really about a week. We expect that by the end of this week, either with the wooden pole option or with using the existing metal mast arms, we'll have electrified signalization back up. But it's just a good reminder, and we know it, that when we neglect infrastructure, this is what happens. And so the good news, though, is that we're focused on infrastructure. We have a strong public works department now in our organization. We have a strong leader, Ernesto De La Garza. We have strong team members who care about our community and making sure our infrastructure is optimal. That's the good news. We're moving forward. We're not stuck in the past. We are developing programs. Some are already underway to better inspect and have annual maintenance cycles for all of our infrastructure, including our roads, our intersections, and so on. And then the third incident that happened in recent time was a fire in a shrimp boat in the municipal marina. And we worked tirelessly and well into the night on Sunday, well past 9 o'clock, to make sure any leaked diesel fuel from the boat, let this plane go by, to make sure any leaked diesel fuel from the boat, which subsequently submerged, was recovered so that it did not pollute the bay waters. That was done to a T, or to a finality, at 9 o'clock on Sunday, together with our partners from the federal and state governments, the Coast Guard and Texas General Land Office in particular, as well as contract crews that were called in from the boat operator and the city of Corpus Christi. All the diesel fuel was absorbed and then recovered, vacuumed off the water through the evening. We've been monitoring it Monday and Tuesday mornings, both the GLO and the city. There's been no more diesel fuel. However, today, on Wednesday, there is some observed sheen, most likely leaching from the boat. I would say, though, that all the diesel fuel from the boat's tank was extracted on Sunday night, but still there's maybe some remaining diesel fuel in and around the boat. So this morning, upon our morning observation, there's some additional sheen that's being right now absorbed with absorbent pads and being boomed for extraction out of the water. It's a minimal amount. The goal on that project is to get the boat, the operator has to get the boat, the owner has to get the boat removed from the bay. We're watching him very closely so it can be expedited. The state also is as well, the GLO, to make sure the operator gets the boat removed out of there. Once the boat's back up out of the water and removed, the chance for any more diesel fuel is gone. So that'll conclude that project. So the main point on that one is that on Sunday, and again through Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we've been monitoring the situation very closely. We're conscious of the environment. We're conscious of our bay. We want clean bay waters. And the work that was done and that is being done is ensuring that. And so that project will conclude with the removal of the boat, which hopefully will begin this week. So those are 3 infrastructure-related projects. We're going to have Ernesto De La Garza now, our Public Works Director, give more specific details here on Mud Bridge. We want to again thank the community for joining us this morning, and want to thank the media outlets as well who are here covering it. So Ernesto.
Good morning. I'm Ernie De La Garza, Director of Public Works. For our update for the Mud Bridge progress, happy to report that we had originally estimated 30 working days to get the channel bank work completed, and our contractor did it in approximately 22 working days. So they are really progressing on getting this work done. Now that we have Southern Road and Bridge mobilizing this week to begin work on the substructure of the bridge, the piles, they're going to start on the east side of the bridge and then work their way in the west direction. So we already have some wooden barges mobilizing to the project. They sent divers at the beginning of this week to do inspections before doing the work, so that they can start getting their scope and their sequence of construction arranged for the work to be done. In addition to that, I'm happy to report that the TxDOT also had their underwater bridge inspection done, and in partnership with TxDOT, they also added to the scope of that work to also inspect the piles. And so that report is going to be sent to us from TxDOT once they have reviewed it and formalized that report. And so we would be able to use that information to compare it to our engineers, our structural engineers' findings. And then if there's any information that we need to add to our scope or decrease from our scope, we can use that information accordingly. So that, again, we'd like to thank TxDOT for moving fast on that. Originally, it was just an underwater inspection, which is scheduled every 5 years, but they partnered with their consultant and to assist us and added to that scope the above water inspection as well. So we'd like to thank TxDOT for that. And then in addition to that, as we mentioned before, the second phase is going to take 70 working days. So what our team is going to do is track those working days starting day one when they start chipping away at the old concrete, the spalled concrete, and getting that work done. We'll start tracking that progress and then have a countdown going for the piles that are scoped and then the amount of work that is progressing for our updates to you all. In addition to that, we just want to continue to explain that we are providing a constant communication with TxDOT, with our contractors and our consultants, and then providing these updates as necessary to give you all, the full picture of our progress, and then our goal to opening the bridge sooner than later.
Good, thank you, Ernesto. So let's see, today, I guess 2 days ago was Martin Luther King holiday, and we did mention there that one of the mottos, or one of the principles of the city of Corpus Christi is transparency, keeping with the legacy of Martin Luther King. It was explained then, but we are being as transparent as we can with the community on things like Mud Bridge and the Alameda Everhart intersection, and even the boat event at the marina. And that's to make sure the community has the best information so you know what's happening. So today's briefing is a scheduled one that we do every Wednesday on the Mud Bridge. And as Ernesto just said, the walls are done, or they'll be done. They're done.
Yeah, both sides are done.
Both sides are done in about 8 days or 10 days.
22 working days.
22 versus 30. So the contractor, we need to thank the contractor, Anderson Columbia, for beating the schedule. They got it soon. They got it done 8 days sooner than initially planned. And then the work is beginning on the substructure. The columns is 22 in particular that need to be fortified and rebuilt. And that's a 70 working day. So that put us into, we have February, March, April or so. We think about April. So work's continuing. So the message from this morning is progress is made on the embankments. That work is done. The column work is beginning this week, and the 70-day countdown will begin this week. And weather permitting, there are exceptions, of course, to include weather and unforeseen conditions or unforeseen findings that we can't see until we get into the material. So that concludes our briefing for today. We're here for any questions or additional interviews if anybody needs any. Any questions from the media this morning? Yes, ma'am.
Just at the last update, it was said that the barges would be here this weekend. You said they're on the way.
They're there.
They're here.
Okay.
Right. Are they under the bridge right now?
There's two that they told me there's two there.
Okay.
They're just
right.
wooden barges.
For those that couldn't hear, because we are broadcasting it live on YouTube and such, the question was, are the barges here? Last week we said there'd be barges here this week. Today's Wednesday, midway through the week, and we do have 2 barges under the bridge right now, and more are on the way. And so that work, as we mentioned, on the columns has to be done in the water, and that's on a barge. That's why that 70-day time frame. If it was on land, it'd probably be a lot quicker, a lot easier, obviously. But we are working in water, our contractor is, and so the barges are a necessary ingredient in that restoration. Any other questions from the media? Okay, great. Well, we want to thank again the media, our outlets, for covering this briefing this morning. We'll be here again or at City Hall. We'll determine it as we move forward through the week. Next week, Wednesday at 10. We thank you for joining us, and thank you, City Team, for covering this on our channels as well. Thank you.